All the problems start in the morning. 100% of the customers that we had on year one were all from paid social media.
And this is a very competitive market. We are talking about 2,500 HVAC companies just in BC. Right?
I think it's a problem with communication on that sales and operations process. I quoted some mini splits with X size, but there was a third company that quoted bigger units. So they were oversizing it. I'm not really sure why they oversized it that much. If they sell that service with that specific equipment, could have problems in the future, such as short cycling, turning if it's too powerful, turning off and turning on and off very frequently. That could be a problem, and that starts all the way from quoting. My specific side, I would say product knowledge. It's the main thing that really hit me when I started losing some quotes.
People say a lot about these smart thermostats.
But these actual cool things help save energy, right? They
Does it help?
100%. They make it building trust. I think it's the main thing that I look for. Suppliers recognize me. I have people in the gym recognize me, and customers when I show up to their home and say, "Yeah, I've seen you in the videos, right?"
Are you the guy from the internet?
The guy from the videos? Yeah. So it's it helps building that brand, and it's not just a company logo on there. There's a person behind it, right?
Yeah.
What makes the world go round is top about that cha-ching sound like we count bills by the
Okay, hello and welcome to another episode of ROI Mindset Podcast, the podcast made by entrepreneurs for entrepreneurs. So today's guest is one of the most driven business owners I've met in my entire life. He's only 23 years old and already runs one of the most reliable, professional, and experienced HVAC companies serving Greater Vancouver. So, Jair Mendieta.
Thank you, Murilo. Thank you for that introduction. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having
It's a
me.
pleasure to have you here as well. Like, I'm really happy. Thank you for making some time.
Thanks.
I know you're a busy person. So, I think the first question is, how did Mendieta Air Conditioning Services began, right? So, you guys, I know this journey started in Peru, South America, and also from South America. So what inspired you and your family to start your own HVAC company in such competitive market?
Right. So we had this company, an HVAC company in Peru since 2007. Well, my parents have it. It's still running over there. But we wanted to move from Peru, mostly because of political situations. We just decided to move, and we were in the industry. We knew what it entailed generally, so we just made the switch and started that journey on here.
Okay, when did you guys come to Canada?
Well, my parents came 2023 and I came 2022. So that's when we started operating. In 2022, that's when we started operations officially. A little slow in the beginning, but officially that's when we launched.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think now you guys are doing great. Like looking back, there's such a difference between like a day one and to the point you guys are right now, right?
Oh yes, 100%. I mean, like year one was hard because one, it's a new country, right? It's a new language. It's a new everything, and there's a lot of competition, so it was really hard for us to get into out in the market and be seen. That was the main problem in year one.
You had all the technical knowledge, but you could not get customers.
Yes,
basically.
Yes,
and that's actually one of my questions. So from what I can understand, you're not a hands-on technician.
Right.
So you act more like a CEO, right? You take decisions in the company.
Yes.
Right?
So I run the company with my dad. Well, my dad has way more experience than me running the business itself, right? So the structure of the company is, well, my dad oversees the operations. my mom, she oversees finances and bookkeeping and accounting, and I see the sales and the commercial part and the face of the company basically. But behind the scenes, we all three take decisions on strategic decisions needs to be made to grow the business.
I see. And what does your day-to-day look like? What are the concerns you have in the morning, for example, the action items you have to address every single day? Tell us more about the routine of a HVAC company owner, because I believe people are looking for that kind of information. How hard is it? How tough is to you to keep on track of everything every single day?
Right. That's still a struggle. I mean, it's something that we deal with every day. But a day to day on my life specifically would be my hardest part of the day is in the mornings. So when we have already jobs scheduled, all the problems start in the morning, right? After 9 a.m., that's when all the problems start rising, and the only thing we need to do is solve them, right? That's the basic job that I have as a business owner. Will be solving it. But apart from that, my specific role in sales would be quoting, selling services and the products that we have, and understanding what my customers want, and go from there. Networking and putting my brand out there is also a part of my role that I do within the company. But overseeing it as a business owner would be mostly problem solving stuff, whether it's operations, whether it's finances, whether it's administrative stuff, right? So that's basically what we see. Paperwork, yes. Problem solving. That's pretty much it.
I imagine every day is a new day, right? So
yes,
you're gonna deal with unexpected problems. So more than ever, I can understand you, and more than ever, I can understand that time is money, literally, because you can get stuck in a problem that you cannot fix, and you to pay someone to fix it, right? Rather than spend your time there.
100%. Yes. No. I mean, I assume you also see it my way because you're also a business owner, right? So there's some stuff and sometimes that we need to get into solving problems that is not our focus, right? No. For example, today I had a problem with a gas permit in the city of Vancouver. I was just before this podcast, I was on the phone because somehow I got deleted from the database. So I need to pull a permit. I cannot do it because I'm not on the database. So I need to submit all the paperwork. That's a lot of administrative stuff that I need to deal with, which is not part of the job itself, but we need to take care of it.
And
right?
I'm sure if you had someone to take care of this for you, right? I'm sure you to pay for a very affordable, or let's say fair price. You to pay in order to make your time and focus on getting new clients.
100%. Yeah, that's the main goal that we need right now. We have that planned out for the future. Of course, right now as a small business, we cannot go and just hire people because we want to. There needs to be that exact demand when, let's say, administrative stuff piles up a lot. Yeah. That's when we need to hire someone else, right?
We hire many hats.
Yes.
Right.
Right,
and, it's totally normal.
Yeah, right now I put a lot of hats: sales, operations, administrative. That's what I do.
Yeah. So, you mentioned that every month you get calls from people who had their heat pump or let's say their AC installed by one of the big companies, and this is a very competitive market. We are talking about 2,500 HVAC companies just in BC, right? And there are some big sharks in the market, right? So everything they install apparently looks okay, but you get calls from customers saying, hey, actually, my house is not heating equally. There are some rooms in my house that are too hot, others are too cold, and vice versa. And they give you a call, they give you a chance to check what's going on, right? And can you share some of the most unacceptable things you ever seen without mentioning any competitor's name?
Of
but
course,
I just would like to come with this question because you mentioned you see things that are not even following the best practices. And when you ask who installed that system for you, the clients come and say, hey, it was company X, and the company X is huge in the market.
Right.
Very popular, very traditional, but they see their customers just as a number. On the opposite way, I think Mendieta see the customer as an opportunity to first create a relationship and second, to help them.
Yes.
So what are the crazy things you ever seen in this world?
The main thing I see, I think it's a problem with communication on that sales and operations process, and it's because it starts, could be all the way from the quoting, right? I remember last Saturday, this Saturday actually, a few days ago, I went to a quote. I quoted some mini splits with X size, which was similar to the competitor's quote, like the same size, but there was a third company that quoted bigger units, so they were oversizing it. I'm not really sure why they oversized it that much, but probably it was because the salesperson that went there, the advisor that went there, wasn't sure or didn't know. So it all starts over there, right? So if they sell that service with that specific equipment, could have problems in the future, such as short cycling, turning, if it's too powerful, turning off and turning on and off very frequently. That could be a problem, and that starts all the way from quoting.
Increasing energy bills, for
Increasing
example,
energy
is
bills.
one of the problems they always
Complain,
right?
Yes. So it could be many things, but all the areas need to be reviewed, such as I said, the quoting could be about installation as well, line sets exposed, leaks on the copper pipes when installing heat pumps. So those are things that I've seen that from time to time come around.
You come with all these names like heat pumps, condenser, HVAC, and all this kind of stuff. What is the difference between a furnace, an AC, and a heat pump? Can you give us a quick explanation of what each of these actually does? Because I'm quite lost. When I started working with you, I didn't know, to be quite honest, the difference between heat pump, AC, heating system. Can you explain us?
Yes, 100%. I mean, that's something that I deal with every day when I'm in call with some customers. I ask what kind of heating system do you currently have if you're looking to upgrade it.
If you ask me, I have no idea.
That's what they say, right? I have no idea. So a gas furnace, the difference between let's put it in two. A gas furnace, it's a system. Well, a furnace could be either electric or gas. Most commonly is gas, and they blow air basically. They use gas to heat a chamber that's called a heat exchanger, and they blow that air to make it hot and distribute it in the entire home.
Okay.
Now, a heat pump and an AC work very similar if they are either ducted or ductless. If they're ducted, they have the same principle. They just use electricity, and they have a different system inside. And the difference between a heat pump and an AC is just a small part called a reversing valve. So that basically is the entire difference between an AC and a heat pump. An AC has cold air blowing inside and hot air blowing on the outside on that big condenser that we call. A heat pump has the ability to reverse that with the reverse valve, so it blows cold air outside and hot air inside. That is the main difference on those systems.
Yeah, we needed a specialist. I think now it's clear. I think for everybody that there are difference, right? It's not just a unique system. So there are different parts with different functionalities, and this
100%.
entire ecosystem is interconnected in order to make your house either cool down.
Yes, and there's a lot of options on heat pumps. There's air to water heat pumps as well, not just air to air. There's geothermal heat pumps. I think there's also gas heat pumps. So there's a ton of systems out there. So that's why it's always important to have someone knowledgeable to find the right system for your home or for your space.
Okay, this entire ecosystem and equipment, I imagine it sometimes breaks, right? So what is the number one problem you see with HVAC systems here in Vancouver? Because here's cold most of the time, but the summer is quite severe, right? So could you let us know what is the number one problem you see with HVAC systems?
Right. So I think top one problem that I see is that homeowners, especially in the residential side, because on commercial and industrial, they need to, right, because they're machines that help their business operate.
Right.
So they do have a maintenance plans and they are knowledgeable about that. But most residential people, they don't do proper maintenance to their HVAC systems, and that's the number one thing that I see happening, which is not doing maintenance every year or every 2 years or every 6 months, depending on what their system is. They need to have something done for whether winter or summer.
What you're saying, I do not check my heating system at home. Talking about my own experience, right?
Yes.
So if I change the filter, is that enough? Because maybe people at home right now are wondering, hey, what should I do then? So should I change the filter? Is just changing the filter enough? Because I know it's one of the most important things, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's
it's common sense.
Yes, that's a huge step. Already most of it done, because that filter, when it gets clogged up, increases utility bills, lowers airflow, so it's bad for you, right? It's replacing it. It's a huge thing to improve the quality and the lifetime of the system. But most manufacturers ask for maintenance to be done yearly, for the warranty to be valid and not being void, right? So I would recommend to do proper maintenance on any system, depending, of course, their manufacturer and what they ask for, to have a proper technician sent to review and inspect those systems every year.
Every year, once in a year.
Yeah, mostly it's once a year. Again, depending on the manufacturer, depending on the equipment that they have. If it's a heat pump, for example, and they use it for summer and winter, some manufacturers recommend it every 6 months because they use it in both high peak seasons, right?
Yeah. And that's the thing in Vancouver, because we have a severe summer, right?
Yes.
Imagine you don't turn on your AC during 9 months, and all of a sudden your AC is working
every day,
the highest performance every single day, right? People say a lot about these smart thermostats, that you can control your house temperature whenever you are. Let's say I'm at work, I want to get home and have my house very comfortable. So is that like something that people should invest? Because people talk a lot about that.
Yeah.
Does it help you save energy or not? Or is just a hype?
So I understand why they say it could be a hype, because it's just, like cool things here and there on what they currently offer, but these actual cool things help save energy, right?
Does it help?
100%. They make it way more efficient. For example, if you have like a Google Nest thermostat, you have the app, you're connected to there. You can create schedules. It knows when you're not home. It learns about your usage, right?
No way.
Say so. I don't know. I like to sleep at 19 Celsius instead of 21 when it's most of the day, right? So it learns about your behavior in your home when you usually go to work and what time do you come back. So it creates a full system based on your behavior, and it helps you be comfortable without skyrocketing your bills.
Look at that.
Yeah.
It's that advanced.
It is technology, man.
That's quite interesting. Yeah, summer's coming, and I keep seeing people buying those portable AC units from Costco, for example. And are they actually effective? Because from what I know, they use a lot of energy and they are super noisy, right? I'm not really sure if it's a good deal thinking like a long-term run.
Right.
So what is your perspective about these portable AC units?
So a portable AC unit is convenient, right? Because you just plug it in, put the vent outside, and that's pretty much it. that would be the reason why I would recommend it, right? If there's a really tight budget, because it's of course cheaper than a professional's whole system installation, and when there's a lot of problems, let's say with if you're a tenant and and the landlord doesn't have AC, like
I see
those
your point.
those kind of scenarios. But if you already want to invest in long term, at the end of the day, having a proper system will help you reduce bills. So in a middle to a long run, you'll end up saving money for doing that investment in the first place.
Because these portable ACs, it doesn't cool down the entire house.
Right.
Right?
Yes. They I mean, the biggest that they go probably could be like a big room, living plus dining room, maybe. But they drag a lot of energy. They drag probably more than an air fryer and a microwave,
Look
right?
at that.
It's and it's working most
And
of the
it's
day,
noisy.
right? And it's noisy. Yes.
Yeah, you have to decide either like you're gonna sleep in a very comfortable temperature,
Yes.
or quietly.
Yes. No, I had
You
that.
cannot have both.
Yes, when we've replaced portable ACs to a proper like mini split systems, my customers always tell me, "Hey, I finally can use the AC when I'm sleeping, right? Otherwise, I couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
It's too noisy for them."
Impressive.
Yeah.
Now that's a good thing to clarify, guys. This portable ACs might be a band-aid solution. It might work for a small room, or maybe if you're traveling, whatever. But long term, it's not sustainable. Imagine.
100%. I mean, if you just by doing the math itself, in the increase on utility bills in a long run, when you're investing in a new system, I'm sure there will be some savings.
Okay,
For
that's a good point. Talking about investments, right?
Yes.
I know a BC provides like a bunch of like rebates to
Yeah.
people who first wants to upgrade their heating system, and second who wants to install a new heating system or AC, whatever.
Yes.
So can you give us a clue? I know you talk a lot about that in your social media.
Yes.
Can you give us a clue about like this 40s BC benefit, this clean BC rebate in general, like how I can take advantage of this, and am I eligible? Like, can I qualify for that? How does it work? Give us a big picture.
Right. So the main thing for rebates for HVAC systems are the government is trying to reduce non-renewable fossil fuel consumption and increase energy efficiency. So if for example, let's say they have an old furnace which is not efficient and uses gas, they may be eligible to get a rebate for upgrading to a new furnace, so better efficiency and plus a heat pump. That's called a dual fuel system.
Right.
They can get, or if they choose to go all electric just with a heat pump, there's also rebates for that. So there's a wide range of options that can go depending on their system and depending on their current status, such as income and ownership, the type of property that the value of it. So there's a lot of factors that can play, and I'm sure that if they look for it, or if they contact us, can help and give some information about these rebates.
No, that's fair. It's fair. And that you guys also deal with the paperwork and stuff, because you have to provide some paperwork to the applicant in order to proceed with the rebate, right?
Yes, so there's, again, as I said, there's plenty of programs, right? So there's one where it's a cashback program, so you apply after you do the project. There's another one where you need to submit the application before doing the project.
I see.
We do it, we help you do it, we help handling the paperwork, but it will depend on what this current situation of that person is.
Okay, I got it. Yeah, there are many variables, like such as income, how old is your system?
Yes.
And many other variables that you
I'll-
guys support your clients to check
100%.
which program he or she
Is the best.
is eligible, and which one works the best.
Yes.
Got it. That's fantastic. Yeah, I really like your videos talking about the rebates. It's one
Thank
of
you.
the most asked questions, right? Everybody
Yes.
wants to know more right now.
Yeah, most of the calls that I've got is about rebates. Like
Yeah.
this past week, I think 95% were about heating and cooling system installations related to rebates.
Rebates.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's something everybody needs to stay aware of, because there is a cost involved when you're gonna upgrade a system, right?
Yeah.
And if you are eligible,
You
it's
can get
a
money
great
back,
deal.
right?
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, and I think you can combine multiple rebates as well, right?
No, you cannot stack up rebates. So how it works, if they're related, for example, a heating system, you cannot. If you are, there's other rebates such as the thermostat that you spoke about. There's rebate for upgrading to a thermostat. That one is you're eligible if you do other programs such as a maintenance program or a heating system upgrade. Those kind of rebates can be stacked up, but not for the same thing. Doesn't mean that if you do go all electric, you can get a clean BC rebate and then a 40 BC rebate and then another rebate. You cannot do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Important.
Important,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah. I'm glad you're clarifying this stuff. How did you learn all this stuff?
Most of it just attending to these like webinars and for that 40BC and BC Hydro they give, right. We us as a contractors, we need to provide an accurate information
Yeah.
to homeowners.
Yeah.
So I always like to be prepared when I'm showing to my customers the options that they want and need, right.
I see. Yeah, we live in the digital age, right? Everything is online.
Yes.
Right now we have AI helping us to take decisions.
Oh, yes,
in,
yes.
in many other things. But I think the internet has changed the way you capture new clients compared to
100%.
when Freddie started in Peru 18 years ago
Yep.
to now. I think that there is a big difference between
totally.
the way you start attracting clients. I would like to understand more from you how the internet help you guys in order to get new clients, get visibility, and support you guys through this journey.
Right. So circling back to year one, 100% of the customers that we had on year one were all from paid social media, paid ads. So that was the main thing that we did.
Was the only way to stand out.
Yes.
Because it was a new market to you guys. Like you guys came to Canada.
Totally new, right? Like nobody
know
knew
anybody.
us. We didn't know it. We didn't know anybody. So we were not able to be just like having referrals or friends and family that can support us and maybe promote us. It was difficult at the beginning to show our face for new customers, right? So how we did it was basically with paid social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Google, and that's how we started the ball rolling to get new customers.
Right. It's fantastic. I think today you guys are still relying on the internet a little bit, right?
Yeah, I mean, I would say more than 50% still comes from social media. Not so much from paid ads right now. We do have right now organic leads that come from the website, that come from TikTok or Instagram, just organically that they saw our profile. Google calls from Google as well, and referrals. We have a lot of referrals that come past customers, referred customers, neighbors. So now we have a bigger mix of leads that come our way.
Now I have a personal question.
Yeah.
So your dad, Freddie, started this business 18 years ago, and you were taking over of the business, like as the CEO, taking actions, taking decisions. When he sees where the company is going, how the company is performing, the way to attract new customers, what does he share with you? Because we need to go very deep in the roots of your company, right, to understand where you guys are at right now. So what does he comment about, like how things are going?
Yes. So I always, when we first started working with you, showing my face to the internet, I had this conversation. And I remember clearly, hey, Dad, I think this is going to work, but I don't I don't feel confident doing it, right? Because I wasn't confident to show my face in videos, right? I think I wasn't that
Nobody, I
versatile,
think. Everybody
right?
who starts in
So-
this niche, like putting your face on the internet, is something like kind of, I would say, uncomfortable.
Yes,
because,
yes.
Come on, people will judge you 100%.
Yeah, so
this is a fact.
Right, so that's the main thing I was trying to discuss with him. And well, what he told me is, well, if it works, it works, right? So let's try it out and see what. And I couldn't say no, not because I mean, I can't say no, but the main thing was, okay, so if this is a way to grow our business and get more, be more familiar with people, such as with suppliers and with customers, I've seen that this result, even though we're just starting, we don't have more than 6 months doing this, suppliers recognized me. I had people in the gym recognize me, and customers when I show up to their home and say, "Yeah, I've seen you in the videos,
Oh,
right?
are you the guy from the
Are you
internet?"
the guy from the videos? Yeah. So it's it helps building that brand, and it's not just a company logo on there. There's
Yeah.
a person behind it, right?
Yeah. People buy from people.
Yes, 100%.
So if you are not as big as Coca-Cola, for example, you need to show your face.
Right.
Otherwise, you're going to be just another company with a beautiful logo, and that's it.
I agree 100%. I mean, the switch that we made for me showing me as the face of the company, I think it helped proving that we're not like a basic company, that we're not just there to sell whatever we're about to sell, right? We're providing a service, and it's not just trying to get you and give me your money. We're actually building a relationship with the customers, and they're more open to see that once they see that it's a face behind that company.
Agreed. And it creates trust,
Yes.
right? I think
Establishes a lot of trust.
social
yes.
media actually give you the opportunity to establish trust with your customers. So how does social media help you build trust with your clients? So it's a very competitive market. The big sharks, they do not use this let's say, do not show their face as much as like a medium and small companies. And I see that as an advantage for the small companies, because you create a relationship with your customer right away. At minute 1 when they see you on the internet. So how does social media help you guys to build trust with your potential customers?
Right. So, I mean, building trust, I think is the main thing that I look for when I talk with customers, and the reason is because you tend to be more appealing to them if you. I'm not. What I'm trying to say is, I'm not trying to sell what they want to hear. I'm trying to guide them to what is best for them, right? And if they don't think it's the best thing for them because there's no trust established, then you're not going to give that proper information to them, or they be open to listen to you, right? So that's why trust needs to be established from the beginning, to see that you're a transparent company, and that we're not there to rip them off.
Right.
We're there to provide a service, and the best service that we can.
Right. Yeah, because your reputation is in the line, right? So
Of course.
your face is there. Thousands of people see you, and if something goes wrong, your reputation is over, right?
100%. Yeah, it takes a lot to build it, and it takes so little to
lose everything.
it, yeah.
I totally agree. And I think you guys are doing great on social media.
Thank you.
So you have such, let's say, good performance in front of cameras. How do you get to maybe people watching us right now, they feel scared in front of the camera. They don't know what to say, but you have a really good relationship with the camera. So what do you do in order to go there and make what you have to do?
Oh, I just don't think about it. Right now, right now, I feel like I'm in a conversation with you. I just don't want to think about the cameras because I also feel nervous.
It's not intimidating anymore?
I think it. I mean, right now, not so much. But at the beginning, when we started to work together, right,
Right.
and we made that decision. Okay, this is what we need to do.
This is the strategy. That's what
yes.
we're going to do.
That was way more intimidating, right? Like, oh wow, I need to record myself. I need to be out in public in the streets, like being filmed. That was a little bit scary, but it just takes time, and then you get used to it.
Right. And do you feel such a pleasure when people recognize you on the street? Do you feel like it's easier to get a deal with a customer who saw you on the internet versus when you're competing for a quote with a big shark that do not show their faces? Do you see people creates more, let's say, connection with you?
Yeah. I think there's 100% more connection established from the beginning because you already I'm the main contact in
Right.
that sales process. So if they see me on a video when we hop on a call, I'm the one answering the phone.
That's perfect.
I am the one showing up to the visit. I am the one sending the quote. I am the one taking over and moving the sales to the operations part. So it's a very clean process for the customer when they already see a familiar face, even though they haven't gotten that call or that visit yet.
Right.
They already know
Right.
me, right?
That's fantastic.
Yes.
Seems like they already know you.
Yeah,
And
100%.
that's it, right?
Yes, and that's what trust needs. Why trust needs to be established, right? It helps, of course, as you said, selling. Maybe not more or not better, but it gives you
Credibility.
credibility. Yes, towards
Right.
the other people, right? Towards the other companies that may just come and give you a price. I don't just do that, right? I take time to explain what I'm presenting, why am I presenting this, why I think these options are good for you, from the initial call all the way to getting the project started.
Fantastic. I could not agree more. Yeah, you're really young, right? And
Yes.
you're extremely mature. So I think you take hard decisions and it makes you better every single day. And again, you're extremely young. So what is something you wish you knew before starting your HVAC business?
Okay. Well, I don't know if I'm the right person to answer it. Again, I'm very young. Yeah, I mean, I'm a normal guy. Usually, when I'm not working, I'm just playing soccer. I go out. I play video games. So
Right.
I'm just a regular
Normal
23
person,
year old.
but
guy.
extremely driven, Jair.
Yes, I would say that would be the main difference. So what I would recommend, and what I would love to have known before would be that rejection is not bad, right? Like I remember I was so scared about being like the face of the company in any way, right? In having relationship with potential customers or suppliers or just having there and wow, maybe they can tell me no, right? Like they're gonna shut the door of what I needed, or to a sales visit, they may tell me no, which at the end of the day, it wasn't that bad, right?
Right.
So it's that was the main thing that I would have loved to learn before. That rejection really helps improve and build that character for future stuff. In my specific case for sales, well, that rejection that you have, it's something to learn from, right? You have a quote or a visit that you lost it, and that's fine, but you'll need to learn why you lost it, right? That's where the improvement starts, and that's what I try to do every time to make sure that the next ones I'm
gonna be even
providing the
better.
best. Yes.
Can you mention any fact or any time you were rejected or the customer did not accept your quote, that you went back home, you come down and you said, hey, I will do this better? Do you remember what kind of insights you had from this rejection and how it changed your journey?
Yeah, so on my specific side, I would say product knowledge. It's the main thing that really hit me when I started losing some quotes. I remember one, this specific visit that I had, it was in Coquitlam. We were about to do a system, and I lost. My pricing was very similar. My warranties were very similar. The equipment was very similar. It was a different brand. And the reason why I lost it is because the other company pitched a thermostat, a smart thermostat, that was connected to their network, so the company, the contractor, could see how the system is going, and if there's some failure, they can remotely oversee it and call the customer and say, "Hey, there's a problem," before you even know it.
They would be more proactive than you.
Right? Yeah. So I had the same thing. I just didn't tell them to them, right? And but if I asked the right questions, I would have known that they're very intended to that kind of technology, and I probably would have got that sale.
Fantastic insight.
You know?
Fantastic what you share. Because it was so clear from your side that the system you would implement would do that you didn't even mention.
Yes.
Right? So it was clear, like for you was not a competitive
advantage, right?
Advantage.
Yes, that was for me, was like my main thing at that moment was they wanted to have this kind of system, and they also wanted to have that other part. Okay, so I'm focusing on what you want and what you're telling me right now. But if there was, as you said, more trust established and a little bit more chatting back and forth, I would have known more about that part and sell that what they actually wanted, right? Because I knew they were happy with what it was I was presenting, but they told me that was the deal breaker. They when I reached out to them and they rejected my quote, they told me, yes, we're going with the other company because of this. So that
was obvious for you.
And it was obvious, yes.
So that is this coding marketing. You must repeat all the obvious functionalities your product or service delivers. So I can pick this phone here and say, hey, this one give you access to the internet. You can connect it to AI. You can send emails. But if I don't mention that you can make phone calls from here,
yes, right,
you might lose a customer,
right? Or if it's talking about the phone example, right? If you don't mention that it has cameras and you're selling it to a photographer, it probably won't take you,
exactly.
Right? But you need
and it's clear that it's a camera.
And it's clear
to make phone calls because it's a phone.
Yeah.
But if you don't mention that, you might lose a customer.
Yes.
Right? It's obvious, but you must make it clear.
Yeah.
And the best marketing strategies I ever seen or I have created, I just was talking about the obvious stuff. I was coming with the most basic features.
Yep.
And it works so well because people connect with you based on the most simple features you can offer. Right?
Correct.
You do not need to reinvent the wheel. So everything that you're offering has to be clear to the customer.
There, yes.
Is there.
Yes.
Right? So that's great. I think one of the most fantastic things you could share about marketing. Big lesson, man.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, that's great. So what are your plans for the next 5 years? So where do you see Mendieta air conditioning going? What are your expectations?
So my 5-year plan right now, and this comes from our background in Peru. We've had a medium-sized company in Peru. Right now, it shrinked and downsized so we can remotely operate it.
Okay.
But probably I would my 5-year plan would be something similar. I see myself in 5 years having an office already. Right now we work from home, having more than 3 vans, so we can that the demand is there. Sometimes we don't have hands to handle it.
Awesome.
So very soon the second one will be coming, and in 5 years I'm sure at least 3 will be there. And having that team already grown, and me focusing more on the business development side rather than the operations itself of the business, without harming the quality of our services.
That's perfect. Yeah, growing in a way that you do not damage your reputation or
100%.
increase your quality.
Yes.
Because by the end of the day, it's a home service, like a kind of relationship.
Yes.
Right?
Totally. The least that I would want would be me growing and putting the customer at the end of the
and
story,
becoming
right?
becoming or acting like the big sharks in the market.
Right.
That they see the customer just as a number. not as an opportunity to create a relationship.
100%. I mean, that's the main difference. And our company in Peru, one of the best times just before COVID, we were 112 people. So my parents, and at that time wasn't me. I was too young to manage that company. But at that time, I'm sure that if we were to replicate something like that, we have the capacity and we have the experience of having a big business, but we provide the quality, the prices, and the service, the care of being a small business.
Got it. Yeah, fantastic. The entire family work together,
Yes.
supporting each other.
Yes.
Don't you guys fight?
Oh yeah, a lot of times. Sometimes our business. You know what I hate and what I love is dinner talks or lunch talks. When I call my dad, I say, "Do you want to go out to eat?" We go out to eat, and then we talk about business a lot. And that's sometimes there's some fights about different point of views, right? Because at the end of the day, we're the main three, my mom, my dad, and me. We make decisions. So there's three. There's always going to be 2 and 1 when voting. So those are when the things get a little bit heat up. But it's fun. I mean, it's we know that's part of the business. We finish that conversation, and in family, we're all happy, right?
That's all good.
We don't combine family and business
I love
in
it.
the same room.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I know from experience. So yeah, it's something the main topic is always business, right?
Yeah, and sometimes it's really hard to divide that because it's family, right? So you're talking about it when talking about other stuff. Business always comes in, but we know for sure that, I mean, if there's things that we don't agree and there's fights, of course. On the business side, we don't like to combine that with family, right? If I'm mad at you because you took another route and another decision that I wasn't comfortable with, that's okay. That's kept in the business.
Right, I agree.
We don't take that on the family, right?
100% cannot affect the family relationship.
Yes.
But I think it's also really hard.
Yes, it is hard. It is hard to control it, but we're going there, trying to manage it.
You guys are doing great. So, last question. So, what is one piece of advice you to give to a young person watching us right now who wants to start a service-based business? That's
a really good question. I would say a good advice, I would say, and that's something that I don't have the experience on because we already have a capital investment for our business.
Okay.
But I would say go as cheap as possible. I think that would be the main advice, right? Try to fail as quick as possible and as cheap as possible. I think that would be my advice. For example, if it's a power washing business or a cleaning business, something that doesn't require much capital investment up front.
Okay.
Would be just trying to get that experience on getting customers, and don't focus on the money, because I understand how hard it is to get that, be able to live from there. But your main quarter or 2 quarters would be just one, getting experience and customers, right? If the money will come at the end of the day. Sometimes you lose, sometimes you win. I've had year 1, we've had a lot of projects where we lost money, not because we didn't budget correctly, but their problems happened, right? And we just need to show up and face the problems, right? If we need to come back, we're gonna come back. If we messed up and we need to change whatever happened in there, we're gonna do it. We're losing money, that's okay. You learn from there.
Perfect.
And you move on.
Yeah. It relates to the customer acquisition costs, right? Because at the beginning, for sure, you won't have profit right away, but the long term, in terms of like a long-term value that this customer brings to you or other customers bring to you, again, you were building your portfolio at the beginning.
Yes.
You were literally paying to work, right? The first projects, they were not profitable. But at the same time, and I truly believe that people watching us right now, if they are starting and they don't know how to start, is basically offering services to your, I don't know, maybe your relatives, your friends,
100%.
Get some customers and let them the opportunity to enjoy your service, so that you're going to have a better portfolio and you can start looking for next projects, new customers, increasing your company
Yes.
portfolio
and
over
not
time.
just that, like it's just like proving the idea that you have. That's the cheapest that can be, cheapest possible.
It's
right?
another thing that we use a lot in marketing, right? So we start a new campaign, we put a little bit of money on this campaign.
Yeah, to
if
prove it
results,
works.
Exactly.
Yes.
If the results
Same
come
thing.
back, okay, let's throw money on it.
Yes.
Okay, the results are not good. All right, let's go to the next one. So make small mistakes, and when you find the right way to go, then you invest.
Yes.
You put energy on it.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. 100%.
And I think that's the beauty of today's world, because you have there is no right or wrong. First thing, right? You need to test.
Yes.
Right? If
Always.
you're testing, if you're executing is extremely important right now, because knowledge is there for everybody.
Yes.
Right? So if you're executing and making mistakes, small mistakes, and fixing your route as soon as possible, you're going to succeed. You might not succeed in the second time you try something, but long term, you're going to test and fix, resolve, and try again. So you're going to be there.
Yes, always. I mean, fail as cheap as possible, test, as you said, look for what it works, and go from there.
Readjust and go.
And take action from there, right? Business is never going to go as planned.
No.
These projects never go as planned.
No.
Marketing never go as planned.
No.
So nothing is going to go as planned. But the only thing that is going to stay constant is if you take action, right?
Exactly.
That's the main
and
thing.
I think the same. Yeah, totally.
100%.
Very nice talk.
Thank you so much, Murilo.
I really appreciate that.
It was a great talk.
Yeah.
I look forward to being here again, probably in the future.
You're going to book more conversations for sure.
100%.
And I'm really sure that the people who are watching us truly love this conversation.
Thank you.
Very valuable, all the information you share with us, despite of the fact, again, guys, this guy is only 23 years old and doing great in his own business. So I'm really happy to have you here. So that's the end of our conversation today. So for the next episodes, I would say we're gonna release next Wednesday. So stay tuned for the next episodes. I really appreciate this conversation.
Thank you, Murilo.
I hope you have a great day.
You too.
Thank you guys. Take care.
Bye-bye.
What makes the world go round is top about that cha-ching sound like we count bills by the pound is we can't stop 'cause we named it for the money. What makes the world go round is top about that cha-ching sound like we count bills by the pound is
Don't stop, rock the block, cause once we get started, then we just can't stop. And when you see the Lamborghini, then you know what's up. Because cheap is cheap and the talk is talk, yeah. Now we chillin' on a cruise ship, take a jet to Korea, how we do it. All the players are playing the game, head is looking lame, so we started getting money and you know we stay paid. Size and size.